The cool thing about working on a DVD magazine on special effects is that occasionally the movie studios will send over some interesting stuff that the average movie fan will never see. Recently, they sent over this press conference that Sam Raimi held regarding his new Spider-Man movie. Check it out.
Yes, thank you. I'm Sam Raimi, the director of Spider-Man. Thank you for coming to today's press conference. This set that we're on right now is supposed to be a New York rental hall, where a professional wrestling group, kind of in the lower rung of professional wrestling, has set up for a few nights stand, and here they hold their pretty much a strongman competition. And Tobey Maguire, playing the role of Peter Parker, newly vested in his spider powers, comes here in an outfit that he devises, since these wrestlers are quite colorful characters. He comes here to use his powers to win some money, because in the first act he's quite an irresponsible fellow, and he hasn't quite realized that these powers are a great gift to be used for the betterment of all. So this is the scene where he'll be squaring off with Randy Savage, who's a great ferocious professional wrestler, and I won't tell you who wins the fight. We've decided to get back to the classical look of the red and blue Spider-Man, but Jim has decided to update it, just to bring it into the year 2002 when the picture opened. What we really were after was to give Tobey an outfit where he could display maximum flexibility, really display his physical prowess. You know, he's really been working out for this thing, and I think that's what the audience loves about Spider-Man, not the Schwarzenegger look, but rather the fact that he's this graceful dancer. The guys and girls who read Spider-Man comic books are so into the outrageous movement that Spider-Man generates as he swings through these tremendous arcs, like 90 miles an hour through the city of New York. It demands a much more visceral camera style, I think, than we presented with Darkman, who is a more sedentary type of fellow, and Liam Neeson and wore masks. So it didn't demand the same amount of exciting movement that Spider-Man demands. So I think it's going to be a lot more interesting camera movement, a lot more visceral in its feeling, but not so much that the audience says, oh, that's a cool shot, because I don't want to pull them out of the movie. I want these great actors that I've got here to pull the audience into the film. So I'm going to try and make it exciting without making myself known.
What we're doing is extending from a real experience, a real person, into a world that's hyper-real, and how it affects the people involved as opposed to just leaping into this hyper-real world. And I believe our challenge, and it's a significant one, is to make a seamless transition between things that we can do that support the business of the development of the character and all the characters in the film, and make the effects not become obvious and not become distracting.
Now, we've always seen the great strength of Spider-Man as the fact that he's a real person. He's one of us. He's a kid from Brooklyn who doesn't have a lot of money. He doesn't get the girls. He's got acne. He's fairly average-looking kid. He's well, slightly better than average. And he's one of us. Unlike Superman from the planet Krypton or other fantastic heroes, he's really a kid that we identify with. And this kid is vested with these powers, or perhaps cursed with these powers. But the important thing is he's one of us. Now, in the comic book, which I'm a giant fan of, he is a genius. And we're going to keep that. He's a very smart kid. But when he can develop a material that even 3M Corporation can't seem to develop, it starts to distance him from a real human being. It distances him from the average kid in high school. So we felt that the best thing to do was, since he's bitten by this spider and takes on the powers of the spider, crawling the walls, the ability to leap like some leaping spiders have, the great proportionate strength of a spider relative to his size, we felt it was a logical progression to let him also spin his own webs. And in that way, keep him a complete human being that we could identify with, and being consistent with, well, once he's bitten by the spider and takes on all of the powers, why just take on 4 of the 5? Why not just take on all 5? That it's a great choice and it was inspired by James Cameron's treatment, I think it's a great choice to help alienate him, to make him feel cut off, and to really embrace the spirit of who Spider-Man is, this misunderstood hero who's an outcast, who's cursed with these powers.
I think of my role in this movie as Norman Osborn first, and the Green Goblin grows out of an aspect of Norman Osborn. And Norman Osborn is an interesting character because he's got a dark side and a light, positive side. He believes in science. He's interested in developing the physical and mental capabilities of a human being through science. And there's a dark side to that and a light side. And the Green Goblin is the manifestation of that dark side.
I think I can especially relate to Spider-Man, that side of my character, because I feel like a superhero in general in my life. No, I think he's a great character, and one of the main themes, which is with great power comes great responsibility, and I think there's great power in just being alive and being a human being, and I think within that there's great responsibility. Every day that I wake up, I have a responsibility to myself and to others to live an estimable life and to be an example for people around me.
The technology that's available is, as we all know, enormous. And I guess the challenge for the filmmaker is to use it in an effective fashion. And being part of a team such as this, I feel as though I can't go wrong. So we're going to enhance and help along the spirit and the soul of Spider-Man where, if for physical reasons, we fall short. And I think it will be indistinguishable from reality. I think perhaps Superman was it was a great job at the time, but I think that the audience has become much more sophisticated and much more adept at determining what's real and what's an illusion, and that's our challenge. And I believe that you will be hard-pressed to tell the places where we've helped reality a little bit. But we will press the limits. We're going to do things that haven't been done in a movie before. I'm just loath to tell you, because then you'll look for them.
A PhD in entomology and somewhat of a spider expert. I am curious,
Did you bring any with you?
how familiar are you with fighting strategies of spiders and their attack behavior, and how do you plan to use that in the film? Like, for example, there's a thing called a bolus spider that creates a little web and then throws it in the air, and then the wind takes it along and it uses it as part of transportation. And there's lots of spiders that do all kinds of weird stuff like that. Thank you.
Well, like any director directing Spider-Man, of course I've studied the fighting techniques of all of the different genuses of spider. I don't want to embarrass you with my knowledge of them here in front of the press. I think it's just best to say that we've examined that particular genus species and are thinking about it. I don't want to reveal too much of the picture.